say that I mean,
You're good. We're cutting the beginning.
Yeah,
we've been drinking on camera since day one. Probably feels like.
What about doing the shot? Yeah. Oh yeah. Come on.
He was just like, "Wait, guys, I don't know if this is our brand.
I don't know if we can do that, but actually, wait a minute.
There's a whole show called Drink Champs.
We had Bryce get sloppy drunk on one.
Bryce was white girl wasted. That was insane. That was insane. I never seen him.
That was my favorite.
Like that, dude. And he's just like, somebody's like super drunk where they argue how drunk they are. He was like, I'm not that drunk. And I was like, you're fucking drunk, buddy.
No, he wasn't really actually denying it that much.
I thought he was.
Nah, he knew he was drunk because as soon as we got to the end of the pod, he sat his ass right down there. He said, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
You get that to that point where you like, hey, I need to cut myself off. I'm tripping right now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Shout out to Bryce on vacay, unpaid vacation, by the way. That's just a document.
No, we don't get PTO.
It's not even.
No PTO.
Yeah. He's getting paid while on vacation.
we don't get no PTO around here. For real.
Yeah, I guess his pay is the same whether he's working or on vacation when it comes to us.
Where did he even go on vacation to?
I don't know. Vacation. He went to Virginia for a meeting.
Where did he go?
I think he went to a meeting.
Bryce, he travels all the fucking time, just random. Like he goes everywhere and anywhere. I don't understand what he does or why he does it, but he does it.
He like Tommy from Martin.
Oh.
Tommy, what do you do?
Oh my God! Shout out to Bryce, man. Welcome everybody to episode 58 of the Rap Cave podcast. I'm Chris Platte, Platte Pods, with a few of my close friends, a few of my best people. I got Birdie. I got Zay.
What's good, bro?
Birthday Zay. I got Big AP. Big AP, formerly Chris Bapples. Used to be Jetpack. All sorts of names.
Used to drive a this, now I drive a that.
I do gotta change
crooked in my slab.
I do gotta change your contact because I just got a Lincoln. It's one of the AKAs.
Yeah, we're another car past that. I bought that Lincoln 9 years ago. That's crazy. Yeah, I had that bitch for about about 7 years. Yeah, that shit.
And he flexed just as much as when he got the BMW. He's just like when he got that Lincoln, he was like, "Hey,
that's still a cold.
You see what I got,
that
bro?"
That shit was fly as
fuck. No, it was fire.
I was the coldest grandpa on the block.
Don't let him downplay your Lincoln. That shit was hard.
That's what I'm saying. He had a Mercury. That's worse than Lincoln. It's the same goddamn brand.
No, I wasn't going to deny that. I didn't have a shit car. I took advantage of. Dude, I rode that shit till the wheels fell off. And by the wheels fall off, I mean got in a crash.
Got into a nearly fatal accident.
You don't know true embarrassment until you break down in front of Lance Cruz High School, bro.
Oh, fuck.
In high school?
Yeah, my car.
Oh, yeah. That's tough.
Literally, like.
Were you in school at the time?
No, nigga.
That's the problem. If you were in high school, that's one thing.
No. I was in high school.
Okay.
I just wasn't going, like, in class. I was leaving the high school. I was leaving, like, practice or something like that. And then my car just tore his ACL. And the fucking wheel was on the ground. I was like, bro, I don't know.
Okay, actually,
the car tearing its ACL.
Yeah, my car was a real piece of shit.
I got a good quick story. Was I think it was my junior. When did I have my car?
We're gonna talk rap eventually, people.
Senior year, I got my first car. Right. Okay, so I'm on the way to the Plug's house that I'm going to this party at. None other than fucking nobody's watching. They ain't watching this. Mr. Rhoda's house. We were at the party there.
Oh God.
They had a party because I was friends with his son, right? And
Fed sweep that.
So I pulled up. I left my house and I'm like, yo, my car acted funny. I pull up to the Plug's house. My car break down in front of the Plug's house. So I'm like, yo, let me get this 20 bag real quick. And can you jump my car? And he's like, all right, for sure, right? So he jumps my shit, and I literally drove it it was like a 5-minute drive from there to the party, and it broke down again as I'm pulling up to the shit. But literally, it pulled up, and I slid right into the spot that I needed to park in, and I parked my shit. I'm like, fuck, I'm calling my dad tomorrow. Fuck the bullshit. Like,
this is tomorrow.
This is a tomorrow project right here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this sound like tomorrow Chris's problem. Let's say today Chris's problem.
Yeah. Well, before we start the podcast, this man Zay has a birthday. Shout out.
Thank
Shout
you.
out, sir.
Appreciate it.
Not just any birthday, but the big 3-0.
Are we ripping these right now?
Let's do it. And
My boy 30. You don't
everybody,
look, hey, I'll tell you what, you don't look
audience
a
in
day
the
over
back,
28,
beautiful
my
audience in the
friend.
back. Make sure. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Yes,
Blessings,
sir.
blessings, brother.
What they say, cakes and candles.
Shout out Microwave Nick for this. This shit is funny. I'm gonna zoom in on this.
Oh yeah.
Dressed in a hot dog shoe. Shout out my boy. Dude, we had a fucking what? What I
He
missed?
just looked at me and goes,
You guys made me do that.
that's your
Oh,
burn
that
going
was a
down.
shot? Yeah.
Oh man. I really like the. I don't drink either, bro. So that shit burned me too.
It was kind of smooth though.
It went down nice. If I was
Jameson's not bad as long as you're not doing like
Not
a big
as
ass shot.
not as smooth as that that accidental $100 bourbon.
Oh, I ain't even told y'all about that either. All right,
That's so
another
crazy.
quick story time.
Then rap.
Remember my cousin? Remember I had my cousin's wedding a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's why I wasn't here. So we're on the way to we're on the way to the wedding. I'm a groomsman. I'm standing up, right? So it's like 10 in the morning. They're like, yeah, let's buy a bottle of bourbon. We could drink it through the day, before the ceremony. Da da da. So I go and buy it. The price
I
tag
saw
says
that
$40. I'm like, yeah, fuck it, $40. I'll buy that. Whatever. That's fine. It's my cousin's day. I'm feeling good. I feel like I'm doing him a service.
Shout out to the
Da da da.
audience.
Turns out, I look at my credit card statement 2 days later. It's $110.
Nah.
Swear to God, that shit was marked wrong. And like when I paid for it, I didn't look at like the pin pad to see how much it actually was, because that doesn't happen normally. That's never happened to me in my fucking 27 years of fucking scorching this earth. You feel me? Like,
That's
I was
nuts.
fucked. So that was not a fun thing to
That
realize
was
a couple days
that
later.
was to quote in Adams. That was an ope moment for sure.
That was an ope.
Yeah, that was an ope moment. Let's get into new music before we get into the other topics. Let's just highlight all of the drops that happened. We'll save the Kanye one because we got a Kanye topic, so we'll just kind of let that transition into it. But boys, we had releases. We had an album from Key Glock. We had an Amine single. We had a Yeet cover of a Drake record. Yeah, we had a whole bunch of shit. We had Doechii remix on West Side Gun. There was a lot of shit. Benny and Boldy put out another.
I heard that one. That was
Benny and Boldy put out another album because they're not dropping enough.
Boldy got to slow down, man.
I was gonna say that, man. Boldy needs to
Like
take a break.
This is like his it's like his fourth project this year.
You know what I'll say honestly is like knowing somebody that's like that somebody that's related to him is that I really think he had that bad accident. What was that, like 2 years ago now? It was like 2 years ago. He had a bad accident here in Detroit. And I think honestly that just lit like a fire under his ass, and now he's just like I'm just gonna keep dropping. I feel like that's what it is.
Drop a project like every month.
Easily. Yeah. I think he'll end this year. Maybe not every month. So what has he got, like 4 or 5 already this year?
Now, I think.
Yeah, then I think he's gonna go for that 12. Yeah, I think
He gotta go every month.
the
once a
line
month.
is at least like 9.5, and I'll probably take the over on that because it seems like he's just dropping crazy. But shout out to Boldy and the work ethic, man. Bang the Butcher. Like I'm running out of ways to describe those projects because like they're dope, but like how like minute can I get to it? Like how detailed can I get? Because it's just another dope album.
Actually,
you know what it is.
Correction, he dropped 6 albums already this year.
Oh, dude, he's smashing that fucking that over at 10.
He's really trying to make up for that car accident.
Bro's he's
swear.
gotta have like set a record by the end of this year.
Dude,
That's
I don't know, man.
That's
Young
6
boy.
albums of straight villain music.
That is
6 straight albums. all
Villain music? What you mean?
Just one of them trench coat walking down the block.
Yeah, that's what.
up to no good
That's
ass
what I like
album.
to call.
like
That's
this,
that's
bro.
up to no good music.
The no face in the shadow ass music.
He hiding behind the bush ass music.
That's Bodie James.
My favorite thing with Boldy James is how many
Boldy
things can he figure out how to rhyme with Mick Nichols, bro? This man has rhymed Mick Nichols with everything in the fucking world, dog. I swear to God. Mick Nichols, I was on 6 Mile. That bro, he name drops every fucking road in Detroit. He does. You listen to Boldy James music, you could have a whole map.
Yeah. If
Oh,
you
yeah.
just like yeah.
You can map out all of
You
Detroit.
map out the whole fucking city.
Just listening to
This
Boldy.
motherfucker, Detroit architect. I'll tell you
Oh,
what. I'll tell you what.
You ever get lost in Detroit? Just pull up a Boldy
Yeah,
James
just put
song.
him Bully James out. You'll find him.
You don't get the directions.
I'll tell you exactly how to get there.
Made a left on Livernois. Yeah, like type of shit. You feel me?
Yup.
Hell, he told you how to get to Royal Oak, man. We had that Royal Oak bar a couple
Yeah, Royal
projects.
Oak bar. He said, what did he say?
Hey, he's got Boldy. If you're listening, you gotta do a song just like directional song, like just the whole song is about like how to
There he
get
is right
somewhere.
there. You heard that?
There it is.
Boldy,
Shout
is
out
that you
Boldy.
outside?
Uh,
Shout out Boldy, bro.
I'm on 6th
Come on
Street.
the show, brother.
Shout out Boldy, man.
Made a left on 6th Street.
I want to highlight the Amine record. That shit is fire, beautiful sample, rapping his ass
I'm
off,
excited
snapping.
for this Amine album for sure because Limbo was his last full length.
Yeah, that was
solo
really
full
good.
length. And I was such a big fan. That was my album of the year that year.
Yeah, that was I think
what,
second.
2022?
20.
20?
20. Because it
All
was
right.
the same year as Sean. That was my 1 and
Fuck
2.
me up,
That was
man.
my 1 and 2 that
Yeah,
year.
that's crazy. Okay, that feels like a long time ago. But
Well,
like,
he did the K-Tramine last year. Or,
Yeah, but
no, 2 years ago.
I'm
yeah.
talking about
I was
like
gonna say it wasn't last year, was it?
No,
No,
that
that's
was 2
two.
years ago. But
That
I'm
was
talking
fire.
I'm talking
So-
about solo full length. Like,
Yeah.
So
It's been a
Limbo
minute.
was the last one. Limbo was so fucking good. So like, I'm excited for whatever he's doing now. I see what, based on the singles, I see that he's like kind of doing this. I mean, Amine has always kind of had this like dance element to him,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want him to necessarily turn into what Duckworth is as well because
Yeah.
I really like Duckworth a lot. But sometimes like I like Duckworth's R&B shit, not all the dance shit. I
Mm-hmm.
like the dance shit, but to not entire
Don't
albums
overload
of
it,
it.
yeah.
And
Hey,
Amine
shout out
just
Duckworth.
did
That
Kate
Ken doll
Tronada's-
is my shit.
Yeah. That shit is fire.
yeah, no, Duckworth is cold as fuck. Don't get me wrong. And Amine is cold either way. But like,
Hell yeah.
he just did the Kate Tronada album, which was like an entire dance album, basically.
Yeah.
It's like I want to hear some variety. So,
Yeah.
and based on the same, I only heard the one single. There's a couple out that are.
You heard Familiar because I was playing that one. That was like the summary. Like that is the dancey one.
Well, that and the one I played today is also dance too. Like
Yeah.
it's or house music, whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it. Yeah. So like.
But Familiar is like melodic, like house music. Like
Yeah,
he's not
so-
like this one. He was rapping on.
Point being, I just want to see him
Yeah.
fucking because he's such a good fucking.
Dude,
bars
he's
the
so
fuck up.
versatile.
He's such a good rapper.
He's so
I want to hear
versatile.
him rap on this too.
Shout out
so.
to him. I really think, like, honestly, I think when you make a list of like just like MC caliber artists, like I feel like people would be shocked at how high he ranks. But when you really sit down and think about it, like when you really look at his body of work, and you start to think, okay, like is he a better rapper than this person? Yeah. Like he's like he kind of flies under the radar a bit, despite having like hits, despite
Accolades.
having like a good catalog. Like
I mean,
he-
it kind of just
he's
like
dope,
it,
man.
it kind of like
I
would
can't wait for his
I'd
album,
put
May
Amine-
16th.
I put Amine around a lot of the same people that we've talked about the past
Yeah.
couple of weeks between like an IDK, a JID, a B tier but should be A tier, good
Duckworth
enough to
too,
be A
yep.
tier but still in the B tier for some
He's
reason.
just one of those dudes who hasn't reached
Yeah,
that.
just
reached
hasn't
that.
broke the thing,
Broke the
And
damn ceiling yet.
What was really cool though about Amine though is when shortly after it dropped. That's crazy that it was 2020. So my brother lives in New York, so I go there every year. And I was in New York, and there was actually the album was Limbo, and like the promotion for the album was a green apple, and it said Limbo on the green apple. And it was like, as I was in New York, it was spray painted on like all these different street corners throughout the city. And so as I'm walking around, I'm with my brother. I look down, I'm like, holy shit, this is this album that I really fuck, like, whatever. So like he's smart as fuck. He knows his audience. He knows the way
Yeah.
he does shit and how to do shit. It's just, I want to see him break that barrier.
And I don't know too, like another thing about him before we get into the others is like he's somebody that is a Portland MC, and I don't really know many other Portland MCs. Like I really don't. So
I didn't know that either.
There
Yeah,
isn't,
so
there
he,
isn't
like-
really many other Portland. He like had
he's like the king, dude. Like I feel
because
like
he has a city that there's
Yeah.
not hip hop does not. There's no hip hop that stems from Portland really.
No.
Like I'll look it up.
not being funny.
I'm
Not
going-
Hey, next time you go to New York, I'm coming with you.
Hey, look, everyone's always welcome to come.
dude, it's a great time.
My brother,
I haven't been in so long.
My brother will.
On the next trip.
Anybody I say
Rap Cave,
Rap
to
Cave
New York.
trip.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
anybody I say that My brother could only fit like 2 people max in his apartment, so we might need to get an Airbnb at that point. But let's do it.
Man.
Half a rap cave trip.
Airbnb or something like that.
Yeah.
We can get Airbnb.
Yeah. Did you? Okay. While you're looking,
go ahead.
Airbnbs only take like 2 people though.
while you're looking that up, Birdie, where are you at with Amine? Just like in
Amine.
general. I mean, we'll talk about it more when his album drops, but just.
I think Chris was spot on. Like he kind of like in that JID range, to where it's like he like one of them artists. Like, cause nowadays like B tier type, C tier type artists can like thrive.
Yeah.
Can like thrive through the industry and actually make money
in their own,
you know what I'm saying?
in their own thing. These are artists that are popular enough to be successful,
Right.
but not popular enough to be like
West Side Boogie, I throw in that
radio,
too.
These
whatever.
type of artists you put on stage like right after the opener type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so like
And they'll have the crowd. It's so interesting too the way Amine's career has played out because he had like he came onto the scene with that super pop single, like Sweet
what
Caroline.
I would love to talk
and then
about?
he just became like I shouldn't say he became an MC, but like he didn't like go fully that direction. Like he's always had the versatility. He's always giving you the the bangers, like Reel It In, and things like that.
Reel It In was a long time ago because his first shit
that was before Limbo. So
his first shit was that Caroline. I can't remember what that album's called right now.
I think it's called Good Morning or Good something.
The yellow cover.
Yeah,
whatever.
Good something.
And then he dropped.
Possibly, what would it possibly take for some of these B-list artists to break that ceiling?
I think it's a
TikTok anthems. TikTok anthems.
I think you're right.
B-list. If I'm a B-list artist right now, I'm focused on
but
break out into
is that
TikTok
necessarily
world.
true? Because JID had surround sound that went
That's
fucking
all he had though.
super.
He not continuing trying to make that TikTok.
See,
vibe.
but don't you think that like in a sense, I'm not saying that you're like referring to it as one way or another. Isn't that kind of fucked up though? Like you can't even have a full song. You have to be a viral sensation for about 10 seconds of your song for you to be able to make it at this point. Like out of
it's kind of the same way of saying like it's kind of fucked up that we only measure who's the best artist by who got the most views and most sales.
Their popularity.
That's
opposed to their
I find that
it gotta happen like
but
that.
yeah,
I don't because I don't think that's true necessarily. I don't think we measure. I think society measures people that way. I don't think we measure people that way because there's a lot of artists who don't get that much play who are some of my favorite artists that I've ever listened to.
But that's where it becomes subjective and objective.
Right.
Like,
but that's what art's supposed to be.
If you want to be objectively one of the best artists, your name got to ring bells around here. It's not just 300 people listen to you over here when there's 300,000 people listening to this artist over here because 300,000 people actually like this artist. Like, I mean, some people don't break out, but they are very good artists. But that's just always gonna be a factor, regardless.
No, for sure, and I think that that falls into that's a whole nother podcast we could do on bringing in the numbers bringing in the numbers to hip hop is
I feel like a lot of these or like my favorite of the B tier artists being like Smino, right? Yeah. Like Smino's a perfect example. He's one of the most versatile artists I've ever listened to in my entire life. Like, and that's through all genres, through everything. Like, he really is. But like, he's never gonna break that barrier. But in a sense, like, I almost kind of do like that they don't get the opportunity to sell out. In a sense, not that I'm not saying like somebody makes it they're selling out because to be fair, like you could call people to sell out, But look, if you get the opportunity to make millions of dollars off something, you're gonna fucking take it.
Yeah, it's a lot like why old Tyler fans don't like him now.
Yeah, and to be fair, like Tyler's an example of like that, like him, becoming extremely mainstream, organic. But still. Tyler is all about it's not about the money. It is about the music for Tyler. Yeah.
That's why I'm only using him as an example because he still like does it right.
So, but that's kind of why like when it comes to these like, whether you want to call it like B tier, I hate to say that because I don't want to downplay their careers or whatever, but like the JIDs, the Sminos,
no, dude,
the
there's
Sabas,
a million rappers. Being a B is
like
great.
A C tier type level, honestly.
You said what?
I see like
Amine?
I see like Big Sean as like a B tier.
I would agree with that. I would agree. They're more C tier.
I could see that. I would still put.
I would agree that they're C tier.
I'd still put Smino as a B tier. I'd still put JID as a B tier. I would.
I think JID is like the bottom of like the B tier because like he has had that little bit of star.
Then
punch.
who else would be in the B tier if he's the bottom?
It
of
would
the
be
B
like
tier?
it would be like Sean.
I'd look
it
at
would
him
be like
at the top.
it would
of
be
the
like
B tier.
Sean. It would be like well, I think Future is A tier.
Like Future would be like A
That's just
tier.
it. The A tier is so thick that like.
Sean's kind of almost like it's weird. Big Sean's almost
To
like
me,
in
Sean
kind
is
of a
like
class
low.
of his own.
I feel like Sean is low A tier to high B tier.
I don't know about that. It was a point in time we probably was in that bracket, but right now,
I don't know, but I still the B tier to me still remains. I mean, look, everyone could be opinionated.
People
on
like Big Crit. Would you consider him B tier?
no, he'd be like a C tier.
You think so?
Yeah,
but then
I would
what
think
is
so,
the B
too.
tier then? That's
B
the,
tier
not
to me.
Tyler.
Yeah, me.
Tyler.
I don't
No,
think
Tyler's
Tyler-
A tier.
No, Tyler's
I
A
think
tier.
Tyler
Yeah, you're
is
right.
absolutely
Tyler
fucking A
Creator.
tier.
He is for
Yeah,
sure.
no, he's A
He
tier
is
now.
100% A tier.
He's A
Yeah,
tier.
no, he is now. He
100%.
is
Ever
now,
disrespect that man like that?
Yeah.
No, it
Yeah.
was.
And that's coming from the dude who was talking shit about Bone Thugs the other week.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
we don't
Yeah.
need to get back.
You guys
back
know they're in
into-
town.
B tier to me is
Was it
like
coming to
a
town?
Big Sean.
There you go, Birdie.
A Wiz Khalifa.
Wiz not still B tier, right?
Yeah, I'm putting Wiz at B tier. He doing.
Still?
I ain't
To,
doing pretty
to
good
this,
right
gotta
now.
put
to
him
this
in
day,
B.
like in the current day,
Do you know
would
what?
he be B tier still?
Do they have numbers for Cushion OJ too? Because we didn't talk about that, but I like that project by the way. Shout out
I
to
would
that
say-
project.
It
I
was
would say
cool.
he
It
was
was
A
a
tier when he
Wiz
first came
Khalifa
out.
fucking project
Yeah.
for sure.
I say I like.
Wiz was A tier when he first came out.
I feel like you only A tier when it's like the masses is like we looking
Tap
for this
in.
guy to.
But that's why I
No,
feel like
but
the
it's-
B-
I'm saying like we looking for this guy to like drop a project. We looking for this guy to hop
Would
on
you
a
put?
feature.
You know who I would put in B tier? Because I think they can get to A tier, but I think they're in B tier right now. Is like Yeet. Yeet
Yeah.
sells a good amount.
You probably like bottom B tier. Bottom B tier.
I wouldn't say
I would even
bottom.
say
I wouldn't
mid.
say
I would
bottom
say
B
mid.
tier.
I'd say
I'd
bottom to mid.
I'd say
'Cause
mid
I wouldn't
B
put him
tier.
up there with Big Sean. and
No,
them,
but I wouldn't put him at the bottom either because again, I would in my B tier in my head, I'm putting people like Smino, JID, those kind of things who have sold well, who have done big performances, who have this time, but they just haven't broken that barrier. I think the B tier gets real muddy. That's like I feel like what the problem is. The A tier is pretty clear. Like,
Well, it's a pyramid, like right, like every tier, like it gets like the list gets
Yeah.
smaller and smaller.
Yeah. And
So like
like-
when you get
like-
to C tier, it's
or-
like a million
or like-
people.
actually do a segment on this.
Ex-
I would-
exa-
yeah,
example-
Sure.
bro.
Let's do it.
Example being like
I would
you
say
said-
B tier probably makes
You
the
said
best music.
Tyler being like B tier, but like we're all like he's A tier. And when you think about it, he
Oh,
is
yeah,
A
he
tier,
is. He
but
is
he's just the
100%
bottom.
A tier.
He may be the bottom of the A tier.
I wouldn't even
but
say
he-
bottom anymore.
Or I mean, not in my opinion, but like
No,
and
with
there
what
is
he's
people
doing-
that like reach A tier and just like never like drop. Like Lil Wayne will always be A tier. Like
Yeah,
period.
no,
like,
he is-
You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
that's
Like,
good
Lil
point.
Wayne is an A tier rapper. Kendrick Lamar, Drake,
Yeah.
fucking J Cole,
Well,
fucking
that's what I was gonna ask too. Is like when we're doing this, is like it is the S tier because normally like when you're tiering, like there's
Yeah,
S tier.
I get. We're not.
Well,
really
I'm not really
considering
Well, I'm,
that
I'm not
S tier.
counting the
shit
S
right
tier.
now.
I'm
We're
starting with
talking-
A.
we're talking-
I'll
we're
start with the top
yeah,
of the
we're
fucking
talking about-
alphabet. Let's keep it simple.
We're talking about A tier
A
being
tier.
the highest.
Yeah.
A tier is
Yeah.
the
They should
S
do
tier
that
in
one
this.
thing that they
Yeah.
do online where they put shit in tiers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, tier list. Yeah, but
I
like,
never
but-
got that why S is like the top, like why it's not fucking A. Start with the fucking
'cause,
top of the alphabet.
No, because
No,
you
it's
know
like a
you
video
know what that
game
boils
logic.
down to. I'll give you guys a little school real quick. That boils down to classes of cars. Cars. The
Oh,
high-
S tier, yeah.
The highest class that you could have in a car is an S
S car
class.
go, my car go.
So it goes S, A, whatever, and I think it stands for like special, essentially, like of being
Yeah.
higher than
Elite.
higher
Yeah.
than elite.
My dumb ass
essentially.
thought it was video games.
Well, that's what,
What
it
was
is
that-
now.
What did
That's
that,
what
what
it's
did
been
the
memed
S stand
to. Yeah.
for then?
That's
like something like that, like special or super or some shit like that.
No, it's kind of, but it's like special or
Yeah.
super
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of thing. Like above, not above average, above great. Like is like what S tier is supposed to be. But yeah, no, because the thing is that like if we include, I mean, granted the way we're talking about it, if we include the S tier in, then we're really shifting the A tier to the S tier, and then the B
I would
tier
say-
becomes the A
That's
tier.
all
So
you're
it's the
doing.
same list.
But
Yeah.
I would say
Either
with
way.
the S tier
Facts.
though, S tier would have to be like legends that are still around, you know, or like legends actually that
if you want to call
Not
it
even
that
still
way,
around,
like,
actually.
like Jay-Z and
and things like that.
but then
yeah.
that literally changes what we're talking about because then that puts Wayne as an S tier.
Let's keep
And
let's
Drake.
keep it simple. The way we've been
I think
referring
A
things.
should be A should have been the highest to
is-
begin
yes,
with.
let's-
You know what I mean?
Fuck a car. We're talking about rap. Fuck a
Yeah,
car.
exactly.
I'll say this. Well, because I want to do actually that'd be a great like second that'd be a great side quest video. Speaking of somebody that I think is like really jumping tiers is Key Glock, man. Like this album is fire.
I just saw an interview with him the other day, and that was pretty
It was
cool.
dope that he leaned into like Pac inspiration, and I honestly, as like you guys know, Pac is one of my absolute favorites, and I thought we were like past the point. Like I thought rap has gotten too old to where they were past the point of like paying homage to Tupac, like
trying to pull that type of
because
influence.
The only people you were seeing that were doing that was like Drake, Kendrick, like that generation. But that generation is 15 years ago. Like, what's the last like new rapper that you saw that like
really paid
embraced like a Tupac? You know what I mean? So like, shout out to Key Glock for that. That was dope. He paid a lot of homage to Young Dolph.
Yeah, I haven't heard the Key Glock album, but
I'll tell you this.
I like him as a person though.
It was he has a great ear for production. Like he kind of reminds me of like that Rick Ross. Like I won't put it like quite there, but it's like on that level where he's got a really good ear for beats. Like the beats on this album are fucking amazing.
Well, you're talking to the wrong guy when it comes to Rick Ross anyway, honestly. But
yeah,
either
no,
way.
I'll
like Rick Ross?
I'll always.
It's not that I don't, but I think people think he's way
Big
better
fat
than he
nigga.
actually is. He's never.
And I see what.
But do you argue that
Rick Ross cannot bar up.
Do you argue? Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Shoes on the cool.
But
He's like the original lifestyle.
I'm
rap,
talking.
realistically.
I'm talking. You're talking the bars. I talk. So the thing that I give Ross credit for, like I probably view him higher as an MC than you, but I'm not here to argue that. The comparison I made with Key Glock is
beat selection.
Beat selection. Like, do you think Rick Ross is a great beat selector?
I think
he's one of the best.
I think in some capacity, but not necessarily because. I mean, this is just personal preference.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
It's not necessarily like the beats that Rick Ross picks are. I've never heard him on like a bad beat per se, but it's not my personal like what I think is the best style or whatever of beat. But like no, it's not that I don't like Rick Ross by any means. I fuck with Rick Ross.
No, I know.
But like, yeah, I think that like he just. To me, like he's never like wowed me with like you have like Aston Martin music and shit, but that's not really like a song that's like, oh my god, this
Devil
is
in the
fucking
New Dress.
insane. It's fucking groundbreaking.
Have you heard BMF?
I've heard
The way that beat come in.
Yeah. Nah. I'm
that shit hard. Look,
Ross is elite. Ross is absolutely elite. I was like, all right, how long
my boy
is this gonna
did
That's
4
his
bars.
shit.
He did 4 bars. That's crazy. Yeah.
No,
But
man.
he was just gonna go the whole show doing that.
That shit. I was like, all right, man. Like, when we get back to me, I was like, I didn't want.
I would have let him do it.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
No, I
Yeah.
fuck with Rick Ross, especially like, bro. I remember Port of Miami 1 when that shit was popping, bro.
Yeah.
Port
No,
of
no,
Miami.
I know you're not. Yeah.
that shit was hard as
But
fuck.
but that's like a common, like that's not just a me opinion. That's like a opinion that a lot of people share with like Rick Ross. Like when they mention like the people that like, for example, there was a notion of
I don't not like Rick
Yeah.
Ross. I'm just not. I don't think he's as good of an MC. As
But
some
there
people
was, for
claim him to be.
example-
but his beat selection is good.
there was a notion that like Nas doesn't pick great beats or whatever. But like
Yeah.
well, like the thing.
That's been an ongoing thing for years.
The thing that they always said about Ross was that Ross makes great beat selection, and I think that Key Glock is kind of falling in that because you can get bored with like his style or whatever. I didn't, but I can see how somebody could get bored with it. I like the raps on here. I think this is better than Glaucoma 2, which I really liked, but I get it. He might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I thought the beat selections were great. I thought his rapping was good. I thought just beat wise. Actually, I'll say overall wise, I think it was his most versatile project that I've heard from him.
Interesting.
So I
I'll have to check it out. I like
really
Key
enjoyed
Glock
it.
too, yeah.
Plus the Pac thing was dope, and and then again he was paying a lot of tributes to Young Dolph in there. So it was
Real quick, I just
really
gotta
dope.
say, I think it's so funny whenever I think of Nas with the shitty beat thing like that,
Yeah.
because that people have been saying that for years.
Dude, they've been saying
Is
that
that so?
forever.
I saw like a tweet. This was like probably 5 years ago. I saw it. It was a long time ago, but it stuck with me this whole time. Is that somebody was like, Oh yeah, rapper in the studio. Yeah, give me your worst beat that you possibly have, and then the producer's like, "My bad, I gave him all to Nas."
See, bro, that's just fucking mean.
I know. No, but no, and Nas doesn't have a terrible beat selection. I don't like that fucking Lord of the Rings shit that he be doing a lot of the time. But like,
Yeah.
you know, that's about where it stands with me.
Um,
I don't need no fucking delusions of grandeur ass beat. Like, you know, fucking relax. Like,
Did anybody?
you're
else-
not marching into war, my man. You live in Los Angeles.
Did anybody listen to Keycock besides me?
Nah.
Okay.
Not.
Oh yeah, I recommend it. The other thing that was
I'ma have to.
that was fire is the Yeet Feel No Ways had some fire to it. It was I'm not gonna lie. It was this was Birdie's
That's fun.
like
And they did.
this is Birdie's like
Did you see the?
we got just ISO for it. We just got an ISO for you.
Man,
This is
listen, I've been telling niggas, man. I've been telling niggas.
Well,
Well, listen, we all got the different perspective that I'm seeing here. This is a great artist right here.
Did you
Listen,
see
when
the?
I
Did
heard-
you see the advertisement they did? They had a Times Square billboard dedicated to Yeet doing this remix.
yeah.
Like
That's
it
what I'm
was
saying.
like
Beats here for sure.
it was like that's exactly you know the album cover is like a iMessage type of thing.
No.
So or the cover for the single like the Yeet remix is like an iMessage like Feel No Ways, but it's written in like you know Yeet form like how he does it whatever. And no, they put it on a big ass fucking screen in Times Square and shit. So like they really pushed this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's cool as fuck. I love and especially because that's like a popular Drake song, but it's kind of slept on too at the same time.
Listen,
That motherfucker Chris grabbed the ball. I said ice over Birdie. Chris, hey, it was that Fresh Prince episode where Carlton takes the last shot over Will.
No, I'm not trying. I'm not trying
Nah,
to.
no, I'm just fucking with you.
I'm backing you
I'm
up.
fucking,
Like,
I'm
is the
fucking with
point.
you. I'm
Yeah.
fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. I'm gaslighting you, folks. That's gaslighting.
Now
That
that's
is
gaslighting.
Go ahead, man. Because no, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, no, like I was saying, I didn't been listening to Yeet since like 4L. So like I've been hearing like the evolution of like the artistry and what he presents on different albums. When I heard the intro to what's the album? Afterlife and the outro, I'm like, oh yeah, he know what he doing. Cause once you master them two, everything else in between just flows. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So
That's true.
yeah, no, shout out to Yeet. That fucking cover hard as fuck. You know what I'm saying? 10 times better than Ken Carson, Amir.
Oh
This is
my
for Amir.
god! Here he comes in the comments, bro.
10 times better. He's 100 times
Hey,
Here
watch
he
how you
comes
talking
in
to
the
Money Murr.
comments.
Money Murr
I'm
got
letting
it
niggas
in
know,
his bank
like-
account to go to
he
another
really
state.
in a different bag when it comes to being an artist. You know what I'm saying? That rage rapping shit cool, but it ain't gonna last forever.
I'll tell you what.
not
though.
that. Trippie Redd ain't gonna be around for the rest of the days. But
I-
But Trippie Redd hopping in a different bag. It ain't. He don't always
Yeah.
do the rage shit. Like sometimes
Yeah.
he be doing that.
No, he
melodic
does
shit.
like that rock shit. No,
Yeah, he be
shit
doing
too.
like melodic shit and all that. Yeah, but Trippie Redd be in that sad boy bag. Like I said, we in the age of depression, so that shit gonna cook for a minute.
that
I
shit
know,
always
he
gonna
just
cook.
rubs me the wrong
But-
way. I don't know.
Yeah, bro.
I mean,
he,
I don't
he
really
weirds
listen
me
to
out.
Trippie
You
Redd.
do
that,
you
bro.
gotta be careful
weirds me
talking
out.
about
Yeah,
Money
he
Murr.
just weirds me out. I don't
creeps
know.
me out.
There's something about him, man. I don't know.
Listen, you gotta be careful talking about Money Murr though, because Money Murr. The thing about Money Murr is that this man dropped bag to go to he went to a whole nother state to watch this man Ken Carson. Like that motherfucker's got it. He's Money Murr for a fucking reason.
He about to go OT for Ken Carson, but we can't even get him on the couch for a weekend. Shit crazy.
Yeah, he's too busy listening to Ken Carson.
and popping in Potty's room for mixes. The motherfucker's on Call of Duty and he's like, hey yo, pause that real quick.
Listen to this. No, but
You can't pause online, mom.
I swear to God, that's how I grew up. I was like,
swear.
you don't fucking get it. I'll be fucking eat dinner.
Dude, I had that conversation several times.
Bro, that shit. You just gotta. Black Homes, you just gotta drop the controller.
Yeah, you don't got no choice.
Like, yeah, all right. I'm
no,
gonna get
we-
like 4
we-
kills now.
oh.
Y'all go ahead.
We talk back.
All right, I guess I gotta back out.
Dude, Those actually like memes and shit kill me about like how white people talk to their parents because I didn't do that.
Yeah,
but I
absolutely did.
But
not
I did.
talk
But
to
I
my
saw. But I
parents the
saw
way
that. Like
people
that's
say. My
a
parents struck the fear of God in me.
That's
like,
a
don't get me
generally
wrong.
fair. I will say, as a white person, that is a generally fair stereotype. Doesn't apply to all of us, but that is a generally fair stereotype. I bet
Yeah,
it's
because I remember seeing
Hell yeah.
some kids that I used to hang out with. I'm like, you talk to your
Bro.
mom this way?
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
name
crazy.
drop, but we all know who this person is, and the way he used to talk to his mom and dad, I was like, "Yo, you are going to get, you gonna get in trouble one day, dude."
You gonna get struck by lightning?
Yeah,
dog.
bro. What
Yeah,
the hell? I
like-
was looking at him different. I was like, "You do not talk to anybody like that, bro." Oh my god, I just then I thought like if I would have said anything near.
yeah,
I
what he said.
feel like I know who it is, but we're gonna have to figure it out
yeah.
afterwards.
Off mic.
I guarantee y'all know who it is, bro. And this,
It's somebody we all know.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Well,
Shout out to you, bro.
last
I
thing
know
I
what
want
you're
to
up to.
last thing I want to shout out.
that person.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to shout out, and my list is the Doechii West Side Gun remix. That shit went crazy. Doechii absolutely fucking snapped. She rapped her ass off. That was honestly one of her, I think, in my opinion, one of her best rap performances I've ever heard.
I got a little bit of pride because he didn't hear it till I showed it to him. So
Dog,
that was cool.
I'm blown. Listen, bro, like Doechii has, and this is gonna be kind of blasphemous, but it's really, I don't think it is. She has a little bit of that like Doja, like that versatility. Like she's got pop records right now on Billboard charting, multiple of them, and then she hops in the underground rap bag. Like she's moving perfect. And watch this. I know the blueprint. Here's the play. She's gonna drop her next album. That shit's gonna go stupid, and then she's gonna adopt that TDE Kendrick mystique, and she's just gonna go away, and then you're just not gonna hear from her until it's album, and then album, and then album. Like she's gonna go that. She's setting up the playbook right now. She's setting it up. I think, dude, she's phenomenal. She continues to impress me.
Yeah, no, Doechii's on a really good track of becoming one of the greatest dudes. She's already taken that.
Yeah.
She's already taken it to just crazier
she's-
heights, especially
Yeah,
for
and
female artists
She's super
too.
tight, and
Killing them all
this
right now.
This West Side Gun remix or whatever was really dope
She went
because
crazy.
what I like to see her.
She better than most rappers, actually.
I like to see her diving into these different bags and that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I think that, she did a good job on this. She does a good job on pretty much everything she does.
Yeah, man.
So.
Nah, man.
Girl touches a project and goes dumb.
She's really, really just. I want to say she's moving the right way. She's making the right moves. She's popping up, like I said, being charting on Billboard, and then going and grabbing an underground West Side Gun, which we all know who he is. I'm not trying to disrespect it, but like doing that balance, I think you see a lot of the stars do that. The stars that move the right way, because the easy thing for her to do would be to do the super duper pop record right now, but then to lean into that to kind of feed the grassroots, while also building your buzz, maintaining your buzz, and just, again, rapping her ass off. Like, she's delivered great melodies. She's delivered great raps. She's got the package, and that's why I like the words you said, on track to be a star, because I don't want to just, like, anoint her like some people are. Like, dude, some people put her on, like, the Billboard put her on, like, the greatest female of all time list, and I'm like...
You're getting ahead of yourself.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, like, the resume's got to be there.
Yeah, I think
But
she's still got
you
some growing
can't-
to do, but
yeah.
she's on the right track, man.
But you can
Yeah.
be excited about where she's going. That's
Yep.
that's where I'm at with it.
Yep.
You absolutely snap.
Is that the end of your this week's drops?
One more
do you-
thing,
okay.
actually.
I just want to. I need a little space for a couple of things, but go
Okay,
ahead.
yeah. One more thing, actually. So I did listen to the Logic Playboy Cardi inspired record.
Oh yeah,
I did.
that shit was ass.
Yeah.
And Birdie, man, I gotta ask you, how did he do Cardi better than Cardi?
I hear it.
See, bro, this man's too cool.
Enough
I
said.
was trying to get you.
Enough said.
This guy's too cool.
Enough
He's
said.
ice cold. He's
He
ice
knows
cold.
damn well he didn't
Yeah,
do
I
Cardi
was-
better than Cardi.
I was
He
trying-
wanted
I was-
to get you so bad.
I was trying
Yeah,
to get
he
you to
wanted to.
jump. This motherfucker just had the mic like this.
That
right?
man, he knew better than that. He wasn't gonna
Said
grab
two
at that.
words. Yeah, no, I tried to give him the jump there. Nah, that shit was ass.
Oh,
That shit was ass.
I will add though, he is dropping.
That shit was ass.
He dropping.
It was so bad.
He actually got a movie
On
coming
top
out
of the
too.
fact, I heard
To
I heard
be
the
the-
snippet actually, but I didn't hear the
To
full.
be the type like think about any other artist if you were like, yeah, I'm about to drop this Kendrick Lamar ass album. You know how much of a fucking
Well,
goofball
Logic
you
did that.
sound like?
It's called the Under Pressure.
Yeah, well, hey, there you go. But like for him to like come out and be like, yeah, I'm about to drop this Playboy Cardi like album.
And then he
That
dropped
shit
the
is corny
Kanye.
as fuck.
Then he dropped the Kanye album, The Incredible True Story. Then he dropped the J. Cole album, Everybody. Yeah, this is Logic. This is who he is. Shout out to Logic.
He's making a movie too now. He got a movie coming out.
Well,
That's cool. I'd love for him to do that
Yeah.
because I know he has a big like movie.
Yeah, he's
Look,
like a movie buff.
He's
Yeah.
I don't
He's a
dislike
really,
Logic
really
as a
big movie
person, but
Yeah,
I
not
don't
as a
like his
person.
music.
No.
I think
honestly,
he's a good dude.
I honestly think he
Yeah.
can. Yeah, he's the type of person where I feel like if I ever met him, I'd feel sorry for the ways I made fun of him. Like I'd feel like a dick leaving that conversation.
You talk to him. Even that's one of those dudes that you just don't want to meet him.
Too
'cause
nice.
You'll know he'll instantly make you feel bad.
Yeah. Well, Adam 22 had that. Shout out to Adam 22, the broke guy. He met J. Cole one time. J. Cole popped up on him and he was like, I feel like a dick for everything bad I ever said about J. Cole. That dude is just cool, nice, like,
Yeah.
respectable.
Yeah, no, 100%, bro. Like, yeah.
Shout out
can't-
No Jumper, bro.
It's literally- yeah,
Let me know if you need.
shout out
Let me
No
know.
Jumper.
Let me know
if you need to hold five.
Let me know if you need intern. Let me know. Let me know if you need interns.
Let me know if you need to hold a couple dollars, dog. I got you.
I'm gonna spot you, bro.
Hey, but give me back by Friday. I gotta pay this rent.
Let me put some money on your books.
All right, I'm done, Chris.
Okay,
you can
all right.
cook, and then we'll get to some
All
other
right,
shit.
let me. I just want to shout out a couple things today. One, I think my favorite single from today was from Bia, who like, the big song.
Oh,
she,
yeah,
big
that-
song
fire.
she had a couple of years ago was that one with J. Cole, London. I think it was called London.
Yeah,
Uh,
fire.
J. Cole's been on 2 songs called London, but
Oh yeah.
but this one was also called London, and she was dope on that. I really liked her. I haven't really listened to her in between, but I really liked this single today. Shout out that, and then
That shit's gonna
I
go
did
up.
listen to what I thought was interesting was it was JPEG Mafia, and there's this Australian electronic artist named Flume who. There's a song I really like by him. It's just all instrumental, electronic, whatever, that I've liked since I was in like 11th grade. And so to see those 2 names together, I was like, this is crazy. I listened to it. I didn't love it, but I respect the attempt of them trying to work together, because it was something different for JPEG Mafia, something different for Flume as well. They kind of blended into each other's worlds. I thought it was sweet, but yeah, he's like this electronic artist. I'm pretty sure he's from Australia, and there's this one song.
name before.
There's this one song that is like one of my like favorite like instrumental songs of all time that came out in like I want to say 2013, maybe 14, something like that back then, and so. It was cool to see that. It wasn't that impressive because JPEG Mafia never really impresses me that much, but I thought it was a cool idea. You know what I mean? So I just want to shout that out too.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope. Does anybody else got anything to highlight that drop? New. Oh, go ahead. I'll let you guys get the floor, and then I gotta say one thing.
You go ahead.
We'll talk about Donda in a second, but I wanted to shout out to that Ray Vaughn mixtape, bro. That's really aging like wine.
Oh my god.
That shit is honestly that is my album of the year so far.
That boy's
shit
heat.
is incredible. You don't get to learn about an artist like that. I feel like I can't remember the last project where I really like learned about an artist, like who they are as a person. So he was able to do that. The production was interesting. The visuals, man, the features were well placed, dude. Shout out to Ray Vaughn, man. That album is honestly, I know he's calling it a mixtape. I'm gonna call it an album because I know they're doing the label trick. Yeah. That shit is fire. Shit is fire. I think it's right now. I think it's probably one of if not my favorite album that's come out this year so far. It's great, man.
I think it's great too. Don't you kind of in a sense hate that that mixtape play because it kind of feels like
You're cheapening it.
It feels like you're putting a feeler out to say, will this do well? If it does well, then it's the best mixtape of all time. But if it doesn't do well,
It's
then
a
it's just a
mixtape.
mixtape.
Yeah, no, that is 100% what he's doing.
I don't like that play of it.
No, he should.
I think it's fair to
He
like.
should call this a fucking album because you know what? I guarantee the reception would be better if he called it an album just because he's trying to. Yeah, you nailed it, bro. He's trying to lean into that, and I don't think by him I don't mean him specifically. I think that's like a TDE like label move. That's like a label decision, to kind of lean into the fact that mixtape, so we could kind of temper expectations. But no, that shit is. Fuck that, dude. Project, album, mixtape, whatever the fuck you want to call it. That shit is fire, and he should be like pushing. He should be pushing that because I think they technically call Doechii's Alligator Bites Never Heal a mixtape too.
Yeah, by technical.
I think they technically called it.
It's not her debut album.
Yeah, because there's so much. There's so much mystique behind like a debut album. There's so much momentum about it.
I'm glad. That just means we get another Doechii album.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the album. I think it's coming this year, and I think it's gonna fucking. I think it's gonna fucking rock. I think it's gonna rock, but that's a whole nother thing. So I just wanted to shout that out before we get to Donda 2. Did anybody else have anything? New music wise?
Omar Apollo. No,
Omar.
Xavier Omar.
Yo, first of all, Omar Apollo is.
He's fire too.
Omar's a college.
But Xavier Omar's fire too.
Fire.
Xavier Omar. I'm not sure if I'm familiar.
Oh man. Great.
He had go to.
He does R&B and soul.
Yeah, go to his albums. I want to click him.
Oh,
I want to see what album it is I really like from him. It's that one, yeah.
If you feel
dude,
is my
that
shit.
is one of the best intros I've ever heard.
Surf is
crazy. Is fire.
It's a crazy little.
Surf is fire.
I've never heard of him before.
I'll play the
Bro's wavy.
Xavier Omar.
What you should play? We'll play after this. And I know we always say this and we don't, but we should. Play the intro to that. Dude, that is one of the best intros I've ever heard. When you listen to that and you're like, this is the start of a project.
Bro, I'm about to, bro.
Yeah,
this is right here, bro. You're going to like this a lot. I know you'll like this a lot.
You'll like it too, I feel like.
You ever heard of him?
No.
Xavier Omar? Check him out, bro.
Yeah, that shit is
Omar Apollo, I know for sure.
Yeah.
I fuck with Omar Apollo.
I get both of them mixed up.
Omar, would you say the music is similar? Because Omar Apollo, I fuck with heavy, but I know exactly what he makes.
No, because that's more like poppy.
Give me that lane of range that this rapper is.
Omar. So he's R&B. So he's R&B. So I would say, who's a good comp for him? Actually, go to his Apple Music. I want to see what they say.
Group chat
like
earlier?
his. Huh? Me? I didn't send it.
No, you sent something in the group chat earlier. That's what I was trying to figure out what you're talking about.
Oh no. Oh, that was that dude that sounds like Frank Ocean. Yeah, so Sir, okay, I kind of don't like these comps because like he's not Masego, like he kind of is, Masego, but yeah, really. Yeah. See, I don't like any of these comps because like Brent Faiyaz, Lucky Day, like none of like he is unique. Like
I was gonna say, bro, I think like you can't really compare him to anybody because he got a really good.
Sir is way different than Masego. And Masego is way different than Brent Faiyaz.
You know what's crazy though?
So that's kind of tells you like they're just reaching. You know
all of these that they pulled up are very unique sounding artists.
Yeah.
Like they have their own sound.
There's nobody that can sound like all of them. Yeah. So no,
they're their own sound, bro. It's
you
either gonna like it or you're not gonna like it.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that dropped. I'm gonna check that out.
By the way, did y'all like, share, subscribe, any of that stuff? Y'all
oh my
y'all
God,
do that yet? Like, share, subscribe. Come on, tap in.
I'm so bad at this. I gotta get
back. I got you, bro. I got you, bro. I'm on it. I stay on it, bro. I got you.
I know. I appreciate it.
We gotta have that.
I appreciate it. We gotta do it in the fucking.
Nobody been on it these last few weeks.
We've been getting subscribers, but it was off of the clips and shit.
Let's talk that like button at least.
Let's talk Donda 2 because that'll segue to Kanye. So Kanye dropped Donda 2. It's a 2022 album, but he decided to drop it now to release it. Look, I'll go with my takes first. This shit is better than Vultures 1 and 2, but this shit is still ass. Like this shit is garbage. There is so much just unfinished work. And I know that Kanye's been doing that for years, but that's not a fucking excuse. Like, he put this shit out, and it kind of better exemplifies his fall off too when you look at it, because this is not as bad as, you know, like I said, the recent stuff like Vultures 1 and 2 and, like, you know, and Bully and, you know, this Cuck album that he's got loaded. Like, so it's not as bad as that, but it's still bad. So, like, you could see, you can hear the fall off. Like, there's more potential on here. There's more things where, like, okay, if these were fleshed out, maybe these could be good. But you're still getting that fall off that you get from Kanye, and, like, the beats kind of sound like they're clashing sometimes, like they're not harmonizing. He has moments in, like, every song has a moment where you're like, oh, I really like this beat, or oh, I really like this hook. But, like, my thing is, I know you're gonna feel different, Birdie, but, like, how many verses on, like, name 5 verses. I just know what this conversation is gonna be. Name 5 verses on there that are Kanye verses that aren't features on here that, like, stand out. 20 songs. If you can't give me 5 verses, he did not give you any verses. City of Gods was one of the only verses that I really fucked with on this whole thing. Otherwise, he's got, like, these snippets and these, you know, like, these moments on there where you're like, okay, I kind of see, like, this could be kind of something cool. But the songs aren't complete. The songwriting is ass. The one song that's stuck in my head doesn't even make no fucking sense, to Get Lost Up. That shit is just stuck in my head. Whenever you see me zone off, I'm just thinking in my head that bum, 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 bum. Like, it's just fucking, it's somehow catchy, so I can't all the way hate it.
Yeah,
but, like,
I get ass stuck in my head too, but usually it's walking down the street, honestly.
Dude, it's not good, man. Like, it's not a good project, man. Like, it's not, man. 20 songs, and I can't remember 5 verses. I can't be like, but I can point to, like, the 530 beat, right? Love that beat. I don't think he did nothing with it. Louis Bags, love what Jack Harlow did, but what the fuck did Kanye do? Future,
I didn't like.
Love what Future did, but what did Kanye do? Like, there's so many things about this record that, like, even Get Lost, the one that I kind of like, weirdly, it's like trash, but I kind of like it. It's like, okay, normally what a Kanye song would do is it would start like that, and then it would escalate to something grandiose, something major. These don't escalate. This is the same shit.
It doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, it doesn't go anywhere, man. So, like, I really don't like it. We'll get to the Kanye discussions after this, but just sticking with this album, like, you know, for those that heard it, which is pretty much everybody, because Birdie played the whole album while we were setting up.
Well, that's what I was gonna say before everybody gets into it. As somebody, did you listen to it? I know Birdie did, but
I heard the ones when we
yeah, that was like that was all I heard. Which I'm not gonna. I'm like, look, it's really, it pains me to not be a Kanye fan anymore because I fucking love. Well, I'm still a fan of Kanye. I don't know. It's hard to stand at the end of the day. I still think he makes relative from what I heard on Donda 2, I liked what I heard. Like, don't get me wrong, whatever. I'm not listening to Cuck, whatever the next album is with fucking Heil Hitler and shit. I didn't listen to this one, but from what I heard, like, I still like the music sounds good in my opinion, but like still, but also like Donda era Kanye was never my shit. I listened to Donda like twice. I never really liked it that much.
Fire.
Yeah, no, see, yeah, you could say that. I didn't think that shit was fire for nothing. I did not like Donda, whatever. The last album I really, really liked from him was Ye. And that was in 2017? 18.
Yeah, it was all them drops.
Yeah.
It was all them drops. Well, before we get to like the bigger Kanye discussion, because there is a bigger discussion, where you at with Donda 2, Birdie?
Listen, I don't know what niggas listening to, but this is one of his best shits in a long time. I don't know what this. Listen, this is what I think.
Define a long time.
Let me.
Okay. If you're getting there, yeah.
Motherfuckers always like to cut me off. I just let it happen. It's over now. Listen, I feel like Chris already had his stance and he had to build on it. So once he heard this album, it was already a no. So I can't listen to him. I'm a stand, but I can call it bullshit. Vultures 1 was trash. Vultures 2 was trash. That was clear as day. But when it come to like hard verses and shit like that, it's like even when you listen to Donda, it's like maybe the only hard verse that's on there is Jesus Lord by Ye at least. Jesus Lord and maybe Lord, what is it, Lord Help Me or some shit. Ye is not making no hard verses like that no more. Like what? This is not fucking
I disagree
20,
with that, but keep going.
This is not 20 fucking what's that?
2018,
2012 when he
20,
fucking doing the cipher
2016.
with Drake and all them. Like this is he been stopped doing that. Like he more into
Sonics.
more sonnets, but I'm saying like more of these like
No,
cliche lines rather than
I think the
these
opposite.
cliche-
The opposite of Sonics. Like,
I think he more focused on like cliche, clever lines rather than actually being hard like he used to be on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Like he don't do those type of hard verses no more like he did on So Appalled and shit like that.
But but do you not feel like the hard verses that you're talking about are still not as hard as they once were? Like, okay, fuck, I just had an example of like, there's been a lot of time. Look, Kanye has made some very fantastic music and some very questionable music. Okay, let's say we're talking about we're going just for these like these standout bars or whatever. Like, mayonnaise colored Benz I push miracle whips. That is a top tier fucking bar. Simple as it is, whatever. It's like, no, I feel like what he's doing right now is he's like kind of. The thing is, he's playing too much. He's playing into his life, which is a good thing as an artist, right? Like, it's good to play into your life. I feel like he's playing at his life from the wrong angle because he's just talking shit about anybody who disagrees with him. Like, you can't like the thing is what I don't like about him in this current day is that I'm gonna let you finish, but what I don't like about him in this current day is that nobody is too good to be told they're wrong. And he doesn't think he can be told he's wrong. And I don't like that in a person. I don't like that. I wouldn't want to talk to you. I don't want to know you. Because that is absolutely a wrong way to think. If you think that everything that you do is right, no matter what, that's a fucked up way of thinking. And that is absolutely wrong. If you think that you are the genius above everybody else and that nobody can tell you that you have a singular thing that you're doing that may not be right, but all of a sudden then they're out of the fucking loop. Now you don't like him anymore. Like whatever. Like that's fucked up. That's what I don't like. The best artists at the end of the day need to be told they're wrong at the end sometimes.
So
I think
you need to be critiqued.
We're getting to overall
let me-
Kanye. Finish
you're
up.
getting
Finish
overall
too.
Kanye, but to jump
But that's
on,
a good point.
Jump on your point. You are speaking because Ye has been very open these last few weeks, right? So he's been linking up with a lot of people. He linked with Act, linked with Top 5, linked with a couple streamers or whatever the fuck. But when you get their perspective on Ye, it's the opposite of what you're saying. It's like he actually do ask for advice from other people. It's like he actually do take heed to what people have to say about his music. I don't think it's necessarily because I feel like you too surface level with it. You see shit on Twitter.
Yeah,
and
maybe it could be headlines. Like
you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I ain't never met yet. I don't know.
But these are still ways that he does talk. Like
is,
I'm seeing like videos of it.
It is, but you
you're
gotta.
right.
But everything we see is like damn near on camera. You know what I'm saying? Like
Character.
We are watching the character be. That might be who he is, but like energetic wise and how he likes to be so open and how he and rants and he able to speak and all that. Like that might be him, but it's like. He could actually be a very nice guy about it, like when he is off camera.
So I know one person that actually has met him, and that's the way. And granted, that was a while ago, but when he met him, he said, "Yeah, he's like Kanye's the type of person where like you would think that because of who he is, he would like interrupt you and like just like talk over you and whatever or dismiss you, but he was like quiet, didn't say a word, listened to what he said, and this was some guy that was a C-list podcaster, not big at all, not even in podcasting music, and was just listening to what, like, that guy was talking without any interruption, So, like,
yeah.
So, like, and again, that could be far removed. He could be a different person now. We definitely think that, and there's an art versus artist conversation that we can get into. But did you, before we get into that part, like, Donda 2, like how do you feel? Like you think it's fire? You think it's like decent? Where
I'll put it
you
in
at
like
with it?
probably like a B tier. Album. It's hella songs on there. I'm definitely going back to first time fire. Even though like I heard it when he first came out with the little speaker thing.
Yeah.
He had some of those songs on there, but like most of those songs on there wasn't like built like an album. Like it was just like I'm working on shit.
Collection
like,
of
y'all
songs.
Keep,
See,
like, just
I
keep
feel like
up,
I heard
keep up,
everything.
keep up with what I'm saying, what I'm doing type shit. But I feel like because there's a few parts on there where it's like more cleaned up than the shit that I heard on leaks. So but like I said, there's a lot of songs on there. I go back to bro, Security, bro. That shit is so fucking hard, bro. That song sounds insane in fucking headphones, and you blast your speaker out. Fucking Louis Bag, hard as fuck. Already said first time. Burn, that came out on the little thing he tried to drop too. It's a lot of heat on there. It's not.
So,
it's probably like 2 songs I'm skipping at the most.
Let me ask you this: where do you rank it in the zeitgeist of Kanye albums? Like where, like you don't have to. Obviously it's new. Like or like the official. It's officially new. So like I don't want like rough estimate of like would you put it above like Life of Pablo? Would you put it above My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy?
No, I'm not saying.
Those are that's what I'm asking. Is like what? Because you said B tier, so I'm curious of like where you rank it
B-tier,
overall.
The A tier albums is everything that's arguably a classic. So it's like 5 to 7 albums I would put in A tier.
Yeah, the first
then
like
B-tier,
it's like the first 5 and then
B tier to me
Yeezus
is
and-
like yay. Like that's a B tier.
So you think it's on par with this?
Yeah.
Or with that? Okay.
I think it's better.
Okay,
than that,
word.
honestly.
Okay.
Do you think it's better than the first Donda?
No.
No.
The first Donna was like a cinematic experience.
Yeah,
Do you
that
think it's
shows.
better than The Life of Pablo?
No. I like Donda more than Life of Pablo, so I'll say it's closer to Life of Pablo than Donda. But
Yeezus?
Interesting. You like Donda more than Life of Pablo?
yeah,
Yeezus? Or is that in that?
nah,
that
that's
yeah. Okay.
But the Life of Pablo will be considered A tier for me.
So
Yeah, no, for sure. And for me too. That's why it's interesting because like I wouldn't personally put Donda above Life of
But I
Pablo.
would put this definitely as one of his higher B tier albums. I think it's above Ye. I put Ye like a more mid B tier, and then the Kids He Goes.
Yeah,
I put that like a C tier. Vultures, D, F, wherever you want to put at the bottom. Both of those.
See,
type shit.
I got kind of like a little bit of a hot take on Kids See Ghosts. I think Kids See Ghosts was a really
So-
fucking. It was better than I think a lot of people made it out to be. I don't even like Kid Cudi.
Yeah, I'm
but
not a
like
fan of Kid Cudi.
the
I didn't really
actual
like him.
music of that album was so fucking good. I think out of that whole run that he had,
That was the most interesting
that
one.
2018 run where he
well,
like,
other than
produce-
Daytona.
other than Daytona, producer. I mean, yeah, I guess Daytona would be above it, but like, other
Well,
than
like
that,
that's not him.
I think that is the best album out of that era. So
Yeah.
I find that that's
I agree.
interesting. Yeah.
I agree with that, and that's where I want to go. Is like the Kanye question to me is like the fall off. You know, people are obsessed with are people falling off? Are they mid? Are they trash? Are they hot? Like what's the temperature of each artist? People love to have those conversations, and I think, you know, I saw a meme, and I wish I could credit it, or a tweet, sorry, and it was a collection of like Donda 2, Bully, this Cuck album, like just all of the last like 5 albums.
You're not
And-
dropping that Cook out.
Yeah, and he might not, but
The track list. He
But-
keeps, he keeps pushing that track list.
but
Keep
I'll
pushing-
say
he
that
pushed that track list for this album. I'm telling you, bro, he was doing all that shit for this album. Even though like
yeah.
he don't need to be doing all this shit, but it's just like obviously he did it, bro, because he was posting the motherfucking Cuck album cover way
Yeah.
before we even seen anything about Donda 2 for real.
So
yeah, no,
so
that's
that,
true.
but that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. So like you have those in there. You have Vultures 1 and 2. So that's like 5 albums. That's like 5 albums that you have.
Which
And
I will say, I'm sorry, my last point is I do actually love the cover of the house burning from a different perspective instead of like, because he had an album that he did the front of the house. Am Am I wrong about that?
I think when
No, he
I
did
think,
it like when he performed.
Yeah,
it,
when he
it was-
performed it,
yeah.
but I think the original Donda cover was supposed to be the
front of
picture
the house.
I think
But
I did see a cover like
I,
that. I'm not,
I
I'm
love
not
that,
I could be
that the
wrong.
Maybe.
Donda 2 cover was like from the side of the house, but the house was on fire. Like, it was pretty sweet. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah.
So let me set it up like this. So the tweet had those 5 albums: the Vultures 1 and 2, Donda 2, Bully, and this World War 3 Cuck, whatever you got coming, blah blah. That people have heard some things, like heard some snippets or whatever. So my question is this: is like, how bad can he damage his legacy? And I'm not talking the antics and stuff, because that's a whole nother side. Again, separate art from the artist. That's a whole nother conversation. I'm just strictly talking music, because I have said for years and years that Kanye has the best discography in hip hop history. And I am now ready to say that he no longer has that crown.
I don't think it's true anymore.
Because you have to account for these bad albums. I get that he's got 9 of them that are like amazing. 9. Like if you really count it out, you got the first 5 albums, then Yeezus, then Life of Pablo, Watch the Throne. Like, I'm not naming them in order, but like that's like, you know what I mean? Donda.
Yeah.
That's 9 albums. But then he has, again, I feel differently about Ye than you do. I don't think it's trash. I just think it's like okay. And then Jesus is King, which I'm not the biggest fan of.
Means,
yeah.
It's a respectable
But
album.
there's that. There's those. There's those plus this collection of like 4 or 5 albums. Again, maybe you don't count the 5th album because it's not technically out. But that has to weigh down the ranking.
You're right.
And now I'm like he is no longer to me the best discography because it's been weighed down. So
are those 5 or 6 albums better than most of hip hop?
Yes. Absolutely.
That's undeniable.
That 5 to 6 run is untouched.
Look, it's percentage based.
Yes.
The more that you diminish your legacy based on the things that you come out with, not necessarily this album, but okay, Vultures 1 and Vultures 2 are a perfect
dog
example.
Shit.
Look, they're dog shit, and those play into the grand scheme.
You can't just ignore them. We can't just focus on the highlights.
Those are part of his discography, and those have to be accounted for. So by definition, those take the percentage of how well this discography is down a little bit.
Always been my, not to open up a whole nother conversation, but that's always been my Drake thing with Drake albums. Is as much as I love Drake and the albums, it's like, okay, because he's hopping in all these different bags, there's like it gets weighed down. When you have 20 plus tracks, like it kind of weighs down the album experience. And Kanye, if you're just looking at albums, this is doing that. Like this run is not great. It is terrible. Like these are, and it has to be accounted for. We can't just look at the first 7 albums and while that is a 7 album run that I don't think any hip hop artist has touched
and will ever touch, probably,
and maybe will ever touch. But at the same time, we can't just ignore this. We can't just ignore this and focus on that. That is great. That is monumental. That carries the weight. He still has like a top probably 5 discography to me just because those highs are so fucking high. But it's no longer number 1 to me.
Legacy is
it's no longer number 1.
Legacy is not forever. You could tarnish your own
and
legacy.
I'm just talking the music because obviously you can get into the whole like all the bullshit he's doing as like
even just
I wanted to just stick with the music. I don't want this conversation to go beyond that. I don't want this conversation to become like what he's tweeting, what he's saying in interviews. Just talking music. How does everybody feel about that? Where's everybody at with Kanye's discography in general and just the idea or the concept of like taking in everything? Go ahead. You, sir.
Let's let Zeke go.
Yeah,
I don't
been quiet for a minute.
I think that man's just
Edibles. Look at his eyes.
that man just. If I'm being real with Kanye right now, he has reached a whole nother level of fame to the point where the average person wouldn't really understand it.
That's true. I don't disagree with that.
And so to be fair, what I'll give is like nobody can attest to how to handle that. Nobody can attest to how to Like, no matter what, Kanye is at a point where anything he does cannot be good enough. Regardless, even though right now these things may not be very good, nothing will ever be good enough.
But that's the thing. I'm not even comparing these. Like, if you take these last 5 albums or 4 albums, whatever, I'm not even just comparing them to, like, the Kanye standard. Like, just objectively, these are not good albums. Like, if they weren't a Kanye West album, we wouldn't look at these albums like
anything.
Yeah. Or let me not speak for everybody, but myself and, you know, whoever else agrees with that. Like people would look at things that way. So I just feel like it has to be accounted for. Where are you at with it, Birdie?
I feel like this is a pointless segment. And why do I feel like that? Because even if we drop Kanye fucking discography, we are dropping him under names that's worth it. It's not like we dropping Kanye under motherfucking J. Cole or some shit for discography or some shit. That's not about to happen.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
we gonna drop him and go be like, well, he done made these last 3 albums that was kind of bad. I guess we're gonna drop him under Drake. Oh, I guess we're gonna drop him under Jay-Z. Like,
yeah. To be fair,
to be
still pedestaled at that point.
All 3 of them could be interchangeable for me. So it's like, all right, I guess, yeah, sure. Yeah. If he could drop, he could drop like 2 or 3 more bad albums right now. He's still gonna be up there.
To be held on that pedestal is a lot. Yes, it is.
And down to 2 is fine.
Let me push back on that, because I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. Like, okay, you can minimize the conversation by looking at, like, oh, if somebody is now no longer 1 and they're now 3, how important is that? Like, how big is that? I think this conversation is fascinating just for the simple fact of, like, the objective of the conversation, which is starting to take in people's, you know, opinions. Like, we can remove this off of Kanye. We can go to other names like Eminem. We can go to other artists that have great discographies, and just in general, it's a principle. You can remove Kanye's name from this conversation. It is still an interesting conversation because I feel like people are so focused on highlights. People are so focused on highlights that they forget about everything else. They always say that with sports, right? Like, when a player retires, you don't remember the last years where they were just barely hanging on. Yeah. They weren't nearly as good as who they were, but their peaks, we remember their peaks. So that's why I think it's a fascinating conversation. So I don't want to minimize the conversation.
And I think, to be fair, you know what I'm saying, Kanye's main thing is producing, period. Yes, he has made some of the greatest albums of all time, but he came in the game as a producer.
Yeah, that's what he was.
You know what I'm saying?
I just watched the Black Album documentary the other day. It was fucking insane because he had Kanye in the studio, and he was like, y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand who Kanye West is, like, for real. Yeah. No, it was actually
not
fucking
nasty in a good way.
It was crazy.
Shout out.
Shout
Shout
out Potty for calling me right now. Yeah, dude. No, I feel you on that because
terrible at Pod. Detriment to the rap cave. Go ahead.
Yeah, but at that, like, the way Jay-Z was talking about him in this, I'm sure you've seen that documentary at one point, and the way he was talking about Kanye is like, yo, this dude, he's an alien. Like, he really, and that is true. Like, to all the top degree, Kanye West is one of the greatest musicians to ever walk this earth. Like, he is. Like, that's undeniable. Like, it's just right now we're in this era of fall from grace. Yeah. And look, you can take it like anybody across the boards. Like, all right, take Hove. You could have just shut the fuck up. But I get it. You have things you want to speak out about, but you have to understand, this is the thing. You want to speak out about some shit, okay. You can speak out about some shit. You're going to get backlash, no matter what. Mm-hmm. You can't be mad about that backlash because you chose to do that. You could have not done it. You could have done it in other ways. You could have whatever. But you pedestaled or put out on the fucking forefront in front of everybody's eyes the way that you feel about things. So you can't be upset about the repercussions that come from this. look, you can that we have freedom of speech, but that does not mean freedom of consequence. At the end of the day, there are consequences for your actions, no matter who you are or how you do it, and that goes into Kanye's not only the way that he acts, but his music as well. There is consequence to the fact that you can't just ride off being Kanye West forever.
All right. I feel you 100%. You kind of moving the goalpost though, because like don't even talking about his music right now. I do feel you like.
No, but he tied it back in. I get the parallel.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to go. I'm not trying to go in that direction.
He's using it. He's using it as like the same thing of like just like we can hold Kanye liable for his dumb tweets, like we can hold him for his bad albums. Is the point.
Yeah, no.
And being the reason I brought Jay-Z up is like Jay-Z being like, he probably has made fucking bad albums, but he chose not to drop them, and he's not salty when things don't go the way he wants them to.
I feel like people do hold Ye accountable for his bad albums though. Like, why would you say that we wouldn't?
No, I'm saying people do hold Kanye accountable, right, for the bad albums. But I'm saying Jay-Z knew when to cut it or not to oversaturate or not to throw too much shit out there or whatever. I don't think that it's a bad thing that an artist is consistently trying to drop music or whatever. But I'm saying Jay-Z read the room and handled it the right way of like, okay, 444. Look, Jay-Z's the only artist that we could say really amongst everybody that like if 444 is his last album, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's very few other artists that we could say that with. And he's a good example of who did it right. And Kanye, I feel like, is kind of grasping at straws at the end of the day.
Do you think some people fall out of love with music?
Music or with an artist?
Music.
Like making music.
Oh,
the artist.
Making music.
The artist falling out of love with music.
I mean, you're asking kind of the wrong person because I'm as like somebody who's always I've created my entire life. Like, I can't really see myself falling out of love with it. I don't know what it's like years down the line. So I can't really attest to whether that's possible or not because in my eyes, I could never fall out of love with the things that I do with that. I love to do with that, whatever.
But so
and it's been years of doing it, and I still have consistently done it. And outside of, I get no praise, I get no, whatever. I do it for myself. So like, I'm on the bottom barrel of that. You know what I mean? So like, at the same time, I'm not Kanye, who's 25 years into the game, who may have fallen out of love with it, but then why keep doing it? Because you have every other venture. You have fucking Yeezy.
It's not your main source of revenue.
Porn, if you want.
That it don't matter though. Like if you really love what you do, like there shouldn't be nothing to stop you. It shouldn't be fucking the fans saying that you fall. Like you getting older. Like it's just.
I agree with that. But are you saying
you think
he's falling
Kanye
out of love?
No, I'm saying Jay-Z because Jay-Z is who I was speaking to falling out of love because we watched Jay-Z literally shift from a rapper to a businessman. So it's like maybe he was falling out of love with rap. You know what I'm saying? You see a bunch of rappers, they snitching nowadays. They're doing all type of shit that he ain't grow up, doing.
He's like, I'm out of this now.
You know what I'm saying? But Ye, on the other hand, like I feel like Ye like making noise. He like making noises. Period. Whether that's on the keypad, making beats, or in his tweets, or just going on a rant in front of the camera. Yeah. He just like to be heard. But music is his first. I think that's like his first love, though.
But at the same time, he has also said that he doesn't care about making music anymore.
Was that before or after he was dealing with labels?
This is in the past, since the whole Vultures and everything has came up. He doesn't give a fuck about making music anymore, and he said that because he doesn't.
And then on top of the fact, Ye say a lot of shit that he
know he contradicts himself.
So
right, but
I don't know what was going on at that point in time for him to say that.
But then it gets back. Then it gets that. But that's the thing is that then it gets into is he just doing this because he knows he can, or is he doing this because he really fucking wants to? Like, and that's like the kind of
you're talking about a person who don't need money from rap at all,
right?
So, I mean, to me, from my eyes, it like it's something he in love with still.
But
Yeah.
but is he? I mean, okay, I will say Donda 2.
I think he
Isn't
I
doing
think he
this-
loves
I-
music, but that doesn't. I don't get where we're correlating it to with when it comes to like not releasing. Again, subjectively,
does
but
he
not
love
releasing
it?
good
Does
music.
he love it anymore?
Yeah. No, and I don't.
Because
And I don't know that.
feel
And I
like
don't.
he does.
I think at
personally.
this point he does it. He does have to love it because he's
Yeah.
like at this point.
No, I
he
think-
doesn't. He doesn't do it because he has to by any means.
Yeah.
But
he could survive.
I think he's doing it because like he's got to be doing it because he loves it so much. These projects right now they not really putting like all the money that he has in his pocket. This is little stuff right now. He's probably making way more money doing other things like that.
Yeah,
so
no,
he would
for
have
sure.
to love it. If it's
I-
just
yeah, I-
something
I
that he does
agree.
consistently.
I agree.
it's
He
a stream-
100%
Or
will.
it's a stream of revenue at this point. If he's using AI to complete his
not-
songs, then he doesn't give a fuck about music.
I
That's
mean,
that's bottom
but
line.
he embraced auto tune. Like I think that's kind of
Yeah,
goes
is
into who he
always
is.
the future. Like, he
Auto
always
tune
gonna
and AI are
feature
two very different things.
I get. I'm not saying they're not, but I'm saying the way auto tune was looked at.
I get he's looking towards the future.
I think it's not even like it is futuristic, but it's also I think it's just he likes to. Again, he's the very definition. When you open up the dictionary, look up contrarian. It's a picture of Kanye West. Like he is a contrarian by nature. Everything he says, does,
Since day
musically, day one, and I think that's what fuels like auto tune. That's what fuels AI. Like he's a genius, but he's also
No, I
a
don't think so.
contrarian.
I think he like when you don't get on top of something when it first starts happening, you gonna be late to the party. That's how I feel.
He wants to be first.
You should be the first person perfecting AI when you know AI is about to take over.
I don't respect
Fucking
it, and
music.
I never will. It's fake.
All right, let's not get
You
on
ain't got to.
I know.
All I'm saying is though, like when you know something, AI is about to take over. Period. When you know some shit like that about to happen, you should get on top of it and start perfecting yourself because
you are
there
right.
is no stopping.
You are right in that, but then at the same time, that completely nixes everything we've been talking about because that means that his heart isn't in it. If he's not making it, then it's not him.
No,
he could.
that's
He
how
could.
you feel,
He
'cause
could love. He
No,
could love.
that's the fucking fact.
That's
Embrace-
If he
that's
doesn't
not a-
have
that's
enough
not a
shit-
fact, though. Like, cause some people use different things for different reasons. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't say that he don't fucking love music because he's using AI to make music. Like, he's still making the
I would
music.
have to agree with him in that part because
Yeah, I think
he
it's
would
passion.
have to, because a lot of people, it's like basically like cheating. It's like I love this so much, and I want to be the best at it so much. I want to be able to be the first person to do this.
You're right, and I don't in all terms disagree with it. Like we talked about. Remember, Birdie, we got into the conversation about like when it came to Eminem's album, how he used
AI for
AI
his own
to
device.
amplify his voice in one way, but Kanye is using AI
to finish songs.
to finish songs because he can. Because he doesn't have the
He
fucking
can't
ability
finish a
to.
song. He really can't finish. You really believe in your heart that he can't finish a song?
Then why is he using AI to finish the songs?
Because
I think
maybe
it's his.
Bro, this nigga been making music for
vision.
how many years? If you want to take
I'm not
the
trying to
easy
listen to
way out,
fake Kanye,
if you
dog.
want to take the easy way out, then he
I don't
can't.
even think it's easy way. I think it comes back to Kanye wanting to take something that people aren't
So
that
take
people
something that's
that's
him.
not cool and then do something with it and like that's
No, it is cool. It's the fucking mainstream right now. That's the thing. He's buying into the fucking
He is.
of
But
what everybody is talking about and what they're doing.
I don't know. I'm not
And-
explaining myself the right way. Basically, what I'm saying is like I think the way, and again, I know they're not the exact same thing, but the way autotune was looked at with disgrace, disgust, fucking Usher,
It should be.
T-Pain had the conversation where he
shout
was
out
on a flight.
T-Pain, bro.
He was on a flight, and Usher walked past him. And he said, "You ruined music by using like autotune or whatever." And like
That's wrong.
and that's how people felt about auto-tune.
Auto-tune and AI are fucking miles apart.
I know they're different, but Chris, this is to Kanye's brain what I think because I don't know him, but what I think is he's looking at this as the same way and as like getting a challenge out of like creatively, like let's see what I can do with AI. I don't think it's he can't finish a song.
breaking the ceiling.
which
you know what I'm
is
saying?
which is fair, but that
You can hate it. You can hate it. You
And-
can feel
but-
it's
but
wrong.
that
That's
also
fine.
doesn't-
I don't like it. I
that
think it's
doesn't-
whack.
Yeah, and the thing is like you can approach it that way if you want to, but that doesn't make it good, and that doesn't excuse you from the fucking conversation of you're faking the fucking funk right now. Everything that you have done over the years, the way that I'm looking at Kanye is that you can't do what you used to be able to do because he can't.
I got a question. What's the difference between using AI and a team of writers?
And what?
And a team of writers.
That's still human. That's human touch.
I agree.
AI is human touch.
No, it's not.
Why is it not?
Because it's robots, brother.
But it's not. How did the robot make itself?
Humans created the robot to make itself.
No, they didn't create it to make it. It's already created, like, and programmed. But it's not making itself. It's like it's already made by a fucking human. So human interaction is already involved when it comes to AI. Period. Just like it is with a team of writers. Like, bro, it's the same shit, bro. I don't see the difference.
I completely disagree.
I'm in the middle of this conversation.
AI not always smarter than a human.
There's no genuine fucking feeling or anything. There's no thought or anything put into AI, period.
Sure
if anyone says that you can put anything into prompting AI, no, you fucking can't. There's no feeling. There is no emotion. There is no humanistic quality that's put into it.
It's binary. It's logic.
Is compiling everything that humans have already done over time and putting out what they think would be the best result based on all the information that they have.
It's logic and binary. That's all it is, rather than like
zeros and ones.
Rather
and that's
than creativity.
I mean, this is separate from my own view of I don't think it's good for society. Specifically, when we're talking about music,
art. It should I don't like AI in art. I really don't.
And the thing is that pisses me off when it comes to Kanye is that Kanye can do it himself. It's not by using this. Auto-tune is a different fucking. He used that as an ability, as a thing, as an artistic quality to his music. There's nothing that AI does that adds artistic quality or vision to his music.
What specifically is he doing with AI?
Is he specifically doing AI?
I said, what specifically is he doing with AI?
He's finished songs with it. Vultures and Vultures 2 is all AI.
How is he finishing the song? Like, what is he using the AI for to finish the song?
He's putting his verses through AI as Kanye West's voice to put songs out. That's what he's doing with these fucking.
Yes, I don't know specifically how.
I'm not going to say Donda 2, but I'm going to say Vultures 1 and Vultures 2. He very avidly said that that's exactly what he was doing.
No, I'm saying though, is AI just changing his voice? Is it coming up with the lyrics? Like,
he's putting something into what?
Just making sure it's charged and stuff because it gets a little laggy at the end if it's low battery.
Oh yeah, no, we're all good.
Okay.
He is putting. Okay, is he inputting into the thing? Yes, technically, but at the same time, if he thought he could do it himself, then why isn't he?
What is he doing? What is he using the AI for his songs? Is the AI making the lyrics? Is the AI just
maybe it's hitting notes that he can't?
But
this is stuff. I don't know what it's doing.
How
I'm
is
not
that?
there.
Yeah, see, this is stuff
that's my thing.
We can't get into the what ifs because we don't know.
Like, he using it for shit that's like that shit don't even sound like. I'm thinking you talking about he using AI like maybe he'll do half a verse and then like he'll just put it in the AI. The AI just start just doing the rest of the verse, and then ended up just putting it out or some shit like that. But if you saying he's doing shit like, I don't know, maybe like singing the verse and then put it through AI and make it sound like how Ye used to sound in 2018 or some shit or anything like that, like, bro, that's.
I mean,
I don't know. That really should not be that big of a deal for us to even be sitting here to talk about that right now.
I don't know how he's using it. At the end of the day, I don't know exactly how far the extent goes on which he uses it in his music, but I will never, ever, for my entire fucking being on earth, ever stand behind anybody using AI in music. That's fucking bullshit.
I agree.
That shit is fucking whack. That shit is taking all the humanistic quality, all the fucking emotion out of everything you're fucking doing. So, I don't know, burn me at the stake if you want, but I will never, ever, for the rest of my life, ever fucking stand behind that.
I don't think.
That's bottom.
And I feel your anger, man. Like, it just takes away from the art of it.
It's not just Kanye.
I feel your anger, man.
It's not just Kanye. It's in general. I don't like this shit. Does not you're taking away the reason that music fucking matters is because a human being made it, and they put their emotion and their hard work and their energy into this shit. And if you are skipping that part, then that music means way fucking less at the end of the day.
So you feel like music is more authentic
When somebody makes it themselves.
themselves. So like, if he was just to use AI just to change his voice, that would
Let's not get stuck on.
That's okay. Look,
I think it's a good
if you're
conversation. I just don't
if
want
you're
to
using
get
it
This
stuck
is
on
my thing. Like, we so deep into this conversation, we don't even know how you using AI. Like, why are we so anti AI? And the
I'm
only
with that.
thing he
I understand
probably, I'm not probably, but only thing he might have just did was voice clarity or fucking to sound like how he used to. I don't know. I don't understand the big problem behind that. Period.
Let me ask this because that was a good conversation, but I feel like we're gonna just keep talking in circles.
Yeah,
because
we could jump off
everybody
this.
made
I'm
their
sorry.
point. No, I think that
Also, yeah,
I don't disagree
I
with
got a little
anything you
passionate
said.
there, but,
I don't
like,
disagree
I'm
with
serious,
anything you
that's
said.
how I feel. Like,
No,
you
I
know?
don't disagree with anything you said, brother. I thought
And
that
I don't
was,
disagree with you, Rod, either. Birdie, sorry.
but
I don't disagree with you in the sense of if you're using it as a tool, that's fine. If it's something that you're using it to just amplify what you're doing, but if you're using it to fill in the blanks of what you can't do, is the problem.
Yes, I agree with that. So let me just ask this because we had a whole Lil Wayne football thing. We'll just ignore that. I just thought it was funny that he named a white person the quarterback of his team, but who has the best? Yeah, he named Eminem as his quarterback of his football team.
I saw he picked Eminem. I didn't know he picked him as a quarterback.
I didn't even see this.
I was like, oh
That's
yeah, that
crazy.
makes I was like, okay, this guy really loves sports. But so we talked about it. I removed him from my ranking of number one. Who does have the best discography in hip hop to you? If you had to just say a name, pick one. We'll throw out a couple, I'm sure,
We
but
talked about this a while ago.
we did. But I just want to ask it because I think it's a good time, good question.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love this conversation because I think it's a great one. Who would you pick? You got a name?
Yeah.
Okay. Still Ye. Still Kanye for him.
BA,
What about you?
come back to me.
Okay. Chris, you got a name?
I mean, the thing is yeah, it's like I want it to be Kanye, 100%. But yeah, I'm not satisfied with the last couple of albums. I mean, I gotta go either Jay-Z or Kendrick, probably.
Okay. My answer's Kendrick because of the fact of the hit ratio thing. Like I think he's honestly been the only artist that's been even comparable, and I think his 5 is not comparable or is not Kanye's 5 because people feel how they feel about Mr. Morale. I don't think it's it's not like a consensus like trash album, but it's consensus not on the same level as his four classics now, of Good Kids, Pimp Butterfly, GNX, Damn. So
Question: Why don't they
hit ratio? I'd put Kendrick there.
Why don't people count Untitled?
Untitled. I mean, they count it in the catalog. I count it in the catalog. I think it's a good project.
Yeah,
feel like most people
I think
don't
it's
count
part of the
Untitled.
catalog, but it's one of those ones that like people consider like
almost like a
it's
deluxe.
not a real album.
It's almost like it is almost like a deluxe.
I consider
I'm
it.
surprised you knew about that one.
I was a Kendrick fan.
but-
He was a Kendrick fan. Boy, stop it. Not a fan, but
He a fan.
Hold up, fan. He
I
said
just know.
fan. Hold up, let me walk that back.
walk that back.
No, but Untitled, because like I kind of consider it. I consider it part of it. The reason it kind of blends, I feel, is that it is very like openly to Pimp and Butterfly B-sides.
Yeah, he literally dates the songs as like this
is when I worked on it because this is when I was.
which
working on
I
Pimp and
enjoyed as a
Butterfly.
Pimp Butterfly enthusiast. I was like, oh, I got to see like the artistic evolution of it.
I think that rides.
It's not a great album.
That kind of does ride
a
as that
collection of
mixtape
songs.
thing, but
Yeah.
I'm fully on the same. Like we were talking about with Doechii being like alligator bites or whatever. Is like if it operates, if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck,
It ain't
must be a
damn
duck.
mongoose.
You know what I mean? Like, so it must be a fucking duck.
Yeah.
So,
I'd give it to I think that is probably my top 3 still. I think I now probably have Kanye 3. I had him 1. I think it's Kendrick, Jay, and Ye. I think would probably be my top 3. Maybe I'd consider throwing in Outkast.
Outkast is a really good one.
That's a
because
fucking
the problem
bangers.
with Outkast is that there is no bad album. They're
Yeah.
all fucking good.
Exactly. So I'd throw them in there.
Yeah, if we're talking percentages,
Yeah.
Outkast might
And again,
actually
that
take
can be everybody's. That's why I want to ask the question, because that could be everybody's like philosophy. Like the conversation with Kendrick and Drake has always been the frequency, like the volume of it. Like I think Drake has good albums, but I think that his don't hit as high as Kendrick. Obviously, he has his top ones that do, but there's those ones in between that I feel personally are not of that caliber. So, but you can look at it this way. You can look at Drake's dropped 14 albums, and I like 10 of them. And maybe 10 of the 14 albums, or 11 or 12 of the 14 albums. Okay, maybe like only 3 of them I'd put like on the level of of the Kanye's, of the Kendricks, of the like whatever, like the peaks. But I like 10 albums or 11 albums from this guy versus 5 albums. I'd rather take 5 albums, or I'd rather take 10 albums or 11 albums that I like from somebody than 5 albums that I really like. So that's why I asked.
The other 5 being
So I'm not it's a quantity, quality, whatever, however you want to slice it. That's why I ask people's opinion, because I think there's good examples of both. There's Outkast, who I think has a low volume but a high quality, and then you have Drake, who I think has a high volume, and I'm not saying low quality, because that's way not. I think Drake has one of the best.
Wrong.
Drake would be in my top 5. So maybe Drake's not the best example.
But it's kind of the same.
Okay, Tupac.
It's the same thing.
I think Tupac has a very high volume, but
not every album.
Not every album. Like I like 3 of his like albums. Like I would say 3 of his albums I really like.
I go for quantity more so than anything, because I feel like quantity, in my opinion, just shows like a higher
consistency.
Like you have the ability.
I just think it's like more. I want to, kind of like more talent, because it's like you putting out the shit and you just know these shits is hitting in some form or fashion. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to, you know what I'm saying,
It's like somebody
being a J. Cole and take your time.
Somebody puts out an 8-song album as opposed to a 12-song album, or let's
20.
say 15-song album, and both of them next to each other are both really good albums. You could see that as this person put out 7 more songs than the other person.
I would reward that if they are on the same level, but to me sometimes they're not. But when they are, I do reward it that way. You're right. So
And then
I don't
like,
disagree with
for
that
Ye,
point.
For Ye, at least the heights is
Just
unmatched.
Just
unmatched.
Yeah. Because I mean, look,
And then it's like it started from here, and then it just like kept going.
if you run through
album after album after album after album.
if you run through his albums, I'll just type it in here, and if you run through his albums, if you look at it, you got at least 9 that you're saying are like undeniably fire, like undeniably fire. You got dude, you got all of the first 5. You got Yeezus. You got Life of Pablo. That's 7 right there. You got Watch the Throne. You got Donda. That's 9. And then how do you feel about Ye, Kids See Ghosts, Jesus is King, Vultures 1 and 2, Bully, like Donda 2? Okay, like, you can have your opinions, but like those are 9 albums I named that like nobody is disagreeing with. You know what I mean? Like nobody's sitting here and saying they're bad albums. So I'm still not, personally, he's not number 1 to me anymore, but I'm still like, I'm not mad at somebody that says he's still 1, because that 9, I mean, look, nobody else has a 9 like that. Pause, probably. Pause, probably, just to be safe. But I'd probably, like, I get that argument. So is that kind of your argument where it's at? I know you're kind of higher on, like, Donda 2 and whatever than me, but is that kind of, like, generally your logic?
Pretty much. It's like in the same, range.
Okay. Yeah. This was a good episode. I'm not gonna do the whole Lil Wayne quarterback football thing because that was just fun. That was just a fill. We definitely filled time. We had some great conversation on this episode, man.
Wait,
I appreciate it.
I didn't do my discography.
Oh, sorry. I thought you did.
No, I just had a quick question.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Come back to you.
You said who has the best right now?
Yeah.
Who
Or all time. All time. Just like
Who would you
who would you say is your best? Like if you just had to pick a name.
You went, as soon as you said Kendrick, I was like, damn it, I should have said that.
Yeah.
So I'll just go like honorable mention. I think Tyler's got a really good one, man. I just think he's I think of it as a way of like where it's going and where it's gonna head to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think he's at a phenomenal.
Yeah. If he keeps going.
Discography.
Yeah, discography.
You know who I
He-
think
he
would have had
does,
that
but-
is Mac. I think Mac would
well,
have had a
Mac-
fucking amazing
I mean,
discography.
I-
he
I was-
does.
I was gonna-
he
I
does.
too,
He
bro.
does.
I was thinking him too.
I was gonna say that 100% was.
He does.
To me, Mac has a pretty much flawless discography. I will say there's songs throughout it that may not be the heaviest.
But I
hitting
felt
or
like
whatever.
he was like
But-
peaking
and
at the time of his
It
passing.
literally there's not a Mac album you could really say is necessarily like
bad. Yeah.
And maybe he got out in time. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Again,
mean, that's a terrible way to put
look
it,
at
but like-
no, but look at
Crazy way to
kind.
put it.
So you say you putting them up there as like your top?
Well, Mac's my favorite rapper.
Yeah.
Ever, so
But-
I can't like the. I'll say I've always stood by the fact of like he is my favorite rapper, but he's not the best.
He'd
rapper.
probably be
You know
he'd
what
probably
I
be
mean?
somewhere
So
though
I
in your
kind of have a
personal.
bias towards him no matter what.
But no, that's the Kanye point. Like if you really not to be dark, but if you think about like okay, maybe like after Donda, it's just done. And it doesn't have to be death. It could be maybe the Jay-Z thing. Like you just stop making
Whatever,
music.
you just stop making
But
music. It's like that. Yeah, the point
if he stopped after Donda, he would still be number one to me.
And I think Mac had at least.
And I think it would be almost undisputable.
I think Mac had a couple more projects left of him that would have still been the tier that he was on, but
Yeah.
maybe he would have seen a decline. We don't know,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
We don't know.
Do you think Mac
unfortunately.
Miller? You think Mac Miller was an A tier?
I think he was when he passed. Yeah.
Bro, we
I thi-
gotta
I thi-
do
I
this
think-
tier list next. Bro.
I would
next,
say
next pod,
I
we
would
do a
say
tier.
probably low A tier. I'd put him around a J. Cole.
'Cause I think-
around
I would say Tyler.
around a Tyler.
I think him and
around,
Tyler are
like,
pretty comparable.
That area, because the thing is, when it comes to like Tyler and Mac and those kind of artists, is like they were so original in their own senses. Is like you don't really know where it's going. You know what I mean? Like they had their own styles, their own ways of doing things, and like you don't know how long that lasts until you see how long it lasts. Like Tyler's an example of clearly somehow it lasted. But honestly, there's a part of me that does disagree with you. As big of a Tyler fan as I am, of like
I just wouldn't
the
throw it in
beginning
all
of Tyler's
time.
career.
Oh,
Is,
that's why I said Kendrick would be
But-
my answer, but
but-
I just wanted to throw like
but
honorable mention.
throwing
Okay.
Tyler out there,
Like,
fair.
I respect that 100%. But one of the biggest Tyler fans in this room is like, I 100% stand by his music in general, but like the beginning of his discography is way weaker than the
where he's
music
at
that
now,
he puts out now. It's like not weak in the sense of like you could find it hard or whatever, but like literally like objectively speaking,
Yeah.
it is better music. He plays better music. He sings better. He raps better. Everything right now is actually better than what he was once doing because, I mean, Bastard and like Goblin and stuff, that's acquired taste. That's not like, this overarching.
That's you like it or you don't.
Yeah, that's not like this thing that's like objectively fucking good. You know what I mean? Like, that was a thing that it's like you like it or you fucking don't kind of thing. And it still stands to that. Like, I still stand to that. You know what I mean? I love those albums, but I'm not going to put it at the same thing because I don't like that music as much as what he makes. I like what he makes now more than he does, which is a very rare case. But like, yeah, so I don't necessarily put Tyler's discography in the same way over there because again, it's a percentage-based thing of there's worse albums in the past. He's a rare case where the albums, in my opinion, got better over time. So the percentage grew rather
Right.
than shrinking, unlike other artists.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a rare case. But
No, he's a late bloomer for sure.
but yeah, I do have like kind of a in between of that. Mac is somebody I'm like, I like his entire discography.
Yeah.
I think he got better his entire career, and
Yeah, I think so. Outside of, you could argue, like, nitpick, like, a few albums, like, okay, like, this album wasn't quite as good as the last. But,
or whatever. Yeah,
but,
you know.
but generally, no. Especially, I think he was almost like, he was like this, you know, he was growing, and then it was like that with swimming. Like,
Well,
I thought he was really good.
helped with him, and what I think is honestly, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like the key to a white rapper who can make it is the versatility. Like, that's what Mac had that other
Yeah,
people.
because you can't be Eminem. You've seen
can't-
a million people try it, and they all fail.
You can't do it, and that's why although Logic is half black, half white, but like he has maintained at least prominence because he does different things all the time, and that's what Mac did. Every fucking Mac album is entirely different from the one before. And that's what I always really appreciate about him, and that's what I think was really what I think was the thing with his discography was that it was versatile over anything.
Stay tuned for the Logic Doechii album. Stay tuned. Stay fucking tuned.
We'll see it happen.
That'll do it for episode 58. I appreciate everybody. I'm Chris Platte, Platte Pods of the Rap Cave Podcast. I'm with my dogs, Birdie. Look at him. He looks ready to check out. I got Zay. Happy birthday, Zay. One more time. Shout out to
Happy
you.
birthday, my boy Z.
you.
We
And
going
then-
to the function tomorrow.
Big AP on the ones and twos. Thank you for all the stuff that he does. Again, if
sir.
you're interested in interning, hit me up. We'll definitely
Yeah, because I don't want to
interns.
do it anymore.
We'll definitely take interns. But thank y'all for tuning in. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, help this channel grow. Let us know who is the best discography in hip hop. Who has the best discography? Is Kanye falling off? What did you think of Donda 2? We had some great conversation today. AI versus humans when it comes to music. Whole bunch of dope conversations, man.
AI versus Kanye I.
Shout out to
I
everybody,
can't believe
man.
that hasn't been thrown
Have
out
a
there
good
at some
weekend.
point.
Have a good
Kanye I.
weekend.
Kanye.
Peace out, everybody. I'm gonna go cry because the Pistons lost. Peace.
Yeah, no kidding. I was supposed to go to that game yesterday. You know that? And my ticket got taken from me, like the sword out the stone.